Ari was in her own little world, barefoot on the rug and giggling at the screen like she was actually there. My aunt's voice crackled through the FaceTime call, loud and full of love, while two of Ari's second cousins ran around shirtless in the background, yelling and making her lose her mind, laughing.
"You need to bring that baby down here,"
Auntie Donna said, pointing at the camera.
"Let her run free and eat real fruit, not them fake ones from up north."
I laughed, the kind that loosened something in my chest. You keep talking like that, I just might show up. I wasn't expecting a response. I was just talking the way you talk when you miss something you don't know how to reach. My legs were tucked under me on the couch, and for once I felt light. Malik was already home, sitting quiet in the armchair across from me. He'd been there the whole call, half watching, typing on his laptop with that quiet intensity he always carried. I hadn't thought much about it. He was always working on something, but I should have known better. Ari blew kisses at the screen.
Bye. I'm coming to Guyana.
Auntie Donna laughed, blowing kisses right back. Then the screen froze and went dark. I let out a soft breath. God, I needed that. Malik closed his laptop and stood.
Good, because you and Ari leave tomorrow.
I blinked. What? He handed me his phone, and I looked down at an open confirmation email. 2 tickets. Departure? 11:15 a.m. My heart flipped. You bought them just now?
While you were on the call.
I stared at the screen, then at him. Malik.
You've been saying you wanted to take Ari to meet your family. You miss your people. You have the next week off, so go. It's a one-way ticket, so use your Amex to book your flight back when you're ready.
I laughed, half breath, half disbelief. I haven't even packed. He shrugged his shoulders nonchalantly and replied,
Then go shopping.
He didn't ask for anything in return, didn't ask me to take him, didn't tell me what to do. He just wanted me to go, to breathe, to be free. I wrapped my arms around him, my face pressed to his chest. Thank you, I whispered.
You don't have to thank me.
But I did. I kissed him softly, and he kissed me back slower than usual, like he knew I needed stillness more than fire. Later that night, Ari was knocked out in the bed, surrounded by new outfits, and the plush unicorn she couldn't sleep without. I was still moving through the bedroom, checking bags, mentally crossing off my list. Everything was set, except 2 things. Our passports. I searched the purse I always carried, the overnight bag, even the drawer where I kept loose papers and receipts. Nothing. My chest started to tighten. I slowed down, trying to think, trying not to panic. Then it hit me. I left it in Damon's apartment. I tucked it away in the drawer near the hallway when we were still us. When I thought that place was home, I hadn't been back since I left. I still had a key, and I still knew his schedule. If I went now, I could be in and out before he got home. Malik was in his office on a business call. I stopped by his office door and shook my keys so make him aware I was leaving. He looked up at me. He was talking to someone on his cell. He winked at me, kept speaking to whomever on the other end of the line, and looked back down at his laptop. Great, he was distracted. He didn't bother to ask me where I was going. I grabbed my hoodie, shoved my feet into sneakers, and left before I could overthink it. The building smelled the same, like boiled rice, mildew, and cigarettes. Same busted light over the entryway. Same hum from the apartment across the hall. Nothing had changed, but somehow it all felt different. I slipped the key into Damon's lock and pushed the door open. The apartment greeted me with stale air, thick with the ghosts of arguments, smoke, and broken promises. The first thing I noticed was the emptiness. Not fully empty. No, Damon was never that neat, but half empty. Like somebody had started packing, like a man was halfway gone but hadn't committed. The walls looked bare. Some drawers stood open, stripped of life. The coffee table was gone, shoes missing from the rack, a man in the middle of disappearing. That caused a small panic in me. He never disappeared quietly. I didn't turn on any lights. Top drawer of the hallway table, under the mail, behind a broken charger. There it was, our passports. I let out a breath I didn't even know I was holding. I turned around and froze. The door opened. Damon. He stepped inside like he hadn't just scared the life out of me. My whole body jolted when I saw him fully. His face. Oh my God, his face. A 4-inch gash carved across his cheek, stitched up but raw, red angry against his brown skin. The kind of wound you don't walk away from easy. I wanted to ask. The words hovered right on my tongue, but fear clamped down on them. The sight of him, stitched and scarred, made my stomach twist. Was it Malik? Was it one of Damon's enemies finally catching up to him? I didn't know, and I was too afraid of the answer to ask. He caught the way I stared. His eyes narrowed, unreadable, before he limped across the room, dragging one leg like it was heavy. He lowered himself into an empty chair with a wince.
"You're not going to ask what happened?"
He said. I swallowed. No. Silence stretched between us, thick and sharp. My heart was pounding, but I held my face still, calm. Damon broke the quiet first. His eyes tracked me the way they always did, like he owned the right.
"Jada."
I straightened up. I just came to grab my passport. I didn't think you'd be home yet.
"You could have called."
I didn't respond.
"You going somewhere?"
I nodded once. Guyana. He tilted his head.
"With him?"
I didn't answer.
"So that's it.
His voice was soft at first, but I heard the edge creeping in.
You just moved on like that."
I'm not here to argue, Damon.
"That nigga ain't no better than me. He's a killer."
I know who he is. That stopped him for a second. Then he laughed, mean and low.
"So you sleeping with my brother to get back at me?"
I rolled my eyes. It's not like that, Damon. You never mentioned no brother to me.
"Bitch, I'm mentioning it now."
The word slapped me as hard as any hand ever had. I hadn't been called out my name since I left him. And in that moment, I realized just how toxic this place, this man, this entire relationship had been to me. I hadn't even realized how much weight I'd been carrying until I finally set it down. Damon, he's your brother. Okay, I got it. I got to go now. I took a step toward the front door, and Damon pushed himself up with a hiss, pain etched across his face. Still, he dragged his leg and took a step to block me from leaving. Slight panic rose in my chest, but I kept my face neutral. Damon, Ari is waiting on me. Stop. He rolls his eyes.
"Take off your clothes."
He heard me mention Ari, and he doesn't even ask about her. Hell, she could be waiting in the car for all he knew. Damon, cut the shit. I'm not taking off my clothes. Move out of my way.
"Bitch, if I have to take your clothes off myself."
You're going to do what? Beat my ass? Unless you plan on killing me tonight, move out of my way. If Malik even sees a scratch on my nose, your ass is good as dead. Damon lunged at me so fast I barely had time to breathe. His face stopped inches from mine, his breath scorching, his chest thundering like he was about to explode. But what made my blood run cold wasn't just the rage in his eyes. It was the pain carved into his face, every muscle straining like it hurt just to hold himself back. His eyes watered, not from softness, but from the sheer effort of not snapping. That kind of restraint was worse than a fist, because it meant I was standing in front of a man fighting a war inside himself, and I didn't know which side was about to win.
"So you can spread your legs for your father's killer, but you can't forgive me?"
My whole body went still. My eyes burned, but I refused to let the tears fall in front of him. What is he talking about?
You heard me. Your father's killer. Ask me how I know. Ask me the details. Matter of fact, why don't you ask him?
I'm speechless. He's trying to get a reaction out of me.
Ha, bitch. Lee can kill any and everybody, and that's okay with you. I have one small addiction, and you would think I killed several people like him.
Cocaine, alcohol, and gambling are not small addictions, Damon.
Killing isn't one either, but I see your pussy gets wet for that.
He retorted. I turned my head, refusing to give him what he wanted.
Imagine how hard his dick gets knowing he's fucking the nigga he hates daughter. Imagine how hard his dick gets knowing he fucking the brother he hates woman.
I swallowed hard, trying to keep the tears from breaking loose.
You think this is all a coincidence, bitch?
He laughed, ugly and hollow.
You think this nigga fucking you is a coincidence? Do you really know who he is? Do you know how many bitches he has on his back and call?
He sneered.
The angel tat on his arm, Tanya. Ask him about her. You think you're special. Your ass ain't no Tanya. He's only with you to get back at me for fucking him over.
His words slid under my skin like glass.
Ask the streets about him. You think I'm the devil and you sleeping next to one. You're green as fucking he's playing you.
His voice shifting into something slick, familiar, dangerous.
Now you act like I never meant shit. All them nights, I helped you study. I cheered you on when you walked across that stage. I held your hand when you looked down and cried over your grandmother's casket. I held your hand when you pushed Ari into the world. You didn't have to take out student loans. You didn't have to work while you were in school. You became depressed after failing the NCLEX your first time. I was there. You miscarried and stayed in bed for a week. I was there. Now you're fucking him. I hate you. I swear to God, I hate your ass.
Damon, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. I have to get back to Ari. He moved closer, reached for the hem of my hoodie. I slapped his hand away. Don't touch me. He grabbed my chin and squeezed.
You're still mine.
No, I'm not. I slapped his hand off my face and shoved him hard. Hard enough to make him stumble. Damon was no small man. The only time I could ever knock him off balance was when he was coked up heavy. And tonight, I think he was. Rage flickered in his eyes. But I didn't stay to see where it went. I ran out the door, down the hall, out the building. He usually chased me, but I didn't hear his steps behind me this time. My breath was shaky, my chest tight, but I made it to the car, slammed the door shut and locked it. My hands trembled on the wheel. The passport sat on the passenger seat like proof that I still had a way out. I drove off, and I didn't look back. I was 8 years old when my father disappeared. With each passing year, the edges of his face blurred a little more in my memory, but the feeling he left behind never did. I felt I was loved. Still, that love didn't erase the emptiness that settled over my childhood. One parent vanished without a trace, and the other never cared to be a mother, too busy chasing after men to notice what I needed. There are these flickers, moments that might have happened, or maybe I dreamed them. A deep voice humming Barris Hammond from the next room. A hand patting my back while I fell asleep during a thunderstorm. There's one Christmas photo, me in footy pajamas next to a cheap plastic kitchen set. My mom told me he bought it. I must have been 4, maybe 6. That was one of the only photo evidence he ever carried. Everything else is blank. And still, tonight, I cried for him like I just buried him. I don't even remember pulling into our parking garage. One moment I was driving toward Malik's building. The next I was parked, both hands gripping the steering wheel like it could keep me from falling apart. My body folded forward, and the sobs tore out of me. Ugly, loud, the kind that makes your lungs beg for air. I was crying for a man that apparently had an ugly side like Damon, crying like he just walked out the door for the last time. But it wasn't just about him. Damon's voice had been echoing in my head. "You're sleeping with your father's killer." I hadn't wanted to believe it. I still didn't. He's admitted to committing crimes, but never went into graphic details. Something had cracked. And now that the crack was open, everything I had been holding back came spilling out. Fear, confusion, grief. Not just for my father, but for myself. For the girl who had spent her whole life trying to make sense of silence. Silence from both of my parents. The kind of silence that lived in photo albums with no names written on the backs. The kind that wrapped itself around your childhood and whispered, "Don't ask questions." I wiped my face with the sleeve of my hoodie and sat there in the car. The elevator ride up to the penthouse felt like it took forever. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. My reflection in the mirror above the buttons looked like a stranger, puffy eyes, trembling chin, mascara smudged to hell. I tried to smooth my face, breathe, act like I had control over any part of this. I didn't. When the elevator doors opened, I stepped into the hallway and braced myself. But I still wasn't ready for what I felt the second I crossed the threshold into the penthouse. The air was colder than usual, not just in temperature, but in energy. Like the warmth that usually wrapped around me here had been sucked out. It wasn't just a place anymore. It was a question mark, a battlefield, a secret waiting to detonate. Malik was standing near the window, staring out at the city like he was searching for answers in the lights. The way he held himself, tense, shoulders slightly hunched, fists loose but ready, told me he felt it too. The shift, the weight, the security that he had following me must have told him I went back to the old apartment. He turned as soon as I stepped in. His eyes found mine instantly. That fast, that sharp. There was something swirling in them I hadn't seen before. Fear? Guilt? Hope? I couldn't tell. All I knew was I didn't want him to come closer. So when he started walking toward me, I instinctively stepped back. He froze like I'd hit him. His whole body stilled.
"Jay,
He said softly, carefully.
what's wrong?"
My throat tightened. The words stacked up behind my teeth like traffic. None of them were the right ones. I couldn't ask what I really wanted to. Not yet. I needed to start small, something I could control. "I forgot my passport," I finally said. My voice sounded too calm, flat. "I had to go back to the old apartment." His jaw clenched. Instantly. Like I triggered something he was already primed for.
"Was he there?
I nodded.
Did he touch you?"
I didn't answer. That was enough. He inhaled sharply, trying to hold himself together, but I could see it. The way his fists curled, the way his chest rose and fell faster. There was a war happening inside him, and I wasn't sure who was winning.
"Jay."
His voice was rough, thick with everything he wasn't saying. But I couldn't do this dance anymore. I took another step back. The tears returned, hot and unforgiving. "Leek, what did you do? Have you told me everything?" The question just came out. It was either ask or choke on it. He didn't respond. Not right away. The silence that fell between us was loud, heavy. It swirled around us like smoke. His eyes didn't widen in surprise. He didn't blink in confusion. He just stared at me like he'd been expecting this moment. Dreading it. "Leek," I whispered. My voice cracked. "Just tell me the truth. All of it." His eyes held mine. I saw something break there.
"I didn't know."
He said quietly. My chest tightened. "Didn't know what?" He looked away, jaw flexing, his hands loose at his sides now.
"I didn't know he was your father."
I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. "What?"
"I didn't know anything about him as your father. I only knew of him as a woman beater. I didn't know he was connected to you."
His words echoed in my skull, and I felt myself unraveling. I stood frozen. My tears weren't even dramatic anymore. Just quiet streaks down my cheeks. I couldn't find the energy to sob. I just leaked pain. I was trying to understand, trying to connect the man who held me when I shook at night, who rubbed my feet without asking, who kissed my daughter's forehead like she was his own daughter, with the teenager who had taken someone's life, my father's life. Why? I whispered. Why was he killed? Malik looked at me then, really looked. There was nothing guarded in his eyes, no mask, just raw, jagged truth.
Because he was beating my mother, and the night he died, he violated her.
The room stilled. For a second, I forgot to breathe. I stared at him, and it all started to connect. The story he told me once, late at night, about how he'd been 16, how he'd snapped, how there'd been a man hurting the one woman who ever truly loved him, how he'd stopped him. That man was my father? He's the guy from when you were 16? Malik nodded slowly. I pressed my hand to my chest like I could physically hold myself together, like I could keep my ribs from splitting open. But it didn't work. It didn't stop the thoughts, the spirals, the panic. I wanted to scream, to cry louder, to collapse and have him catch me. But I couldn't even move. Everything inside me felt like it was being rewritten. All the stories I told myself to survive, the fantasy that my father had left because he was scared or sick or stuck, the idea that someday he'd come back and apologize, that he'd wanted to be there, that maybe he was better somewhere else, still living, still breathing. But no, he'd been dead this whole time, and the man I'd fallen in love with was the reason. How the hell was I supposed to hold that? How was I supposed to untangle the lines between justice and vengeance, between Malik at 16 and Malik now, between protector and executioner? What if everything I had built with him in this short time, every whispered promise, every slow kiss was rooted in a lie? Or worse, in blood? He took a cautious step forward.
Jay.
I flinched. Not because I was scared of him, not like that, but because I didn't trust myself, didn't trust what I might do if I let myself touch him, fall into him. Please don't, I whispered. He stopped, pain flashing in his eyes.
I didn't know. I swear to you, if I had known, if there had been even the smallest clue, I would have told you. I would have.
Leak stopped. I cut him off.
Do you hate me?
He asked, voice barely above a whisper. I closed my eyes. No, I said. It was true. But I was scared. Scared of the pain. Scared of what it meant that the man I loved had killed the man who contributed to bringing me into this world. Was I fucked up morally for still wanting this man? I don't know what to do with this, I whispered. I'm tired. I don't know how to carry this. I don't know.
I'll carry it.
He said. I stared at him.
I'll carry it for both of us, Jada. I'll carry all of it. The truth, the pain, the past, whatever it takes. Just don't walk away.
Tears rushed back into my eyes. I pressed my lips together, trying to stay upright.
We stood in the center of the room, just staring at each other. She looked like a different woman than the one I kissed that morning, like something had cracked wide open inside her, and she was trying to hold the pieces together with trembling hands. Her eyes, they didn't even feel like hers. They were glassy, unreadable, but still cutting straight through me like they were searching for proof of something ugly she'd already decided was there. I hated that I didn't know what version of me she was looking at right now. I hated more that I couldn't tell if I deserved it. Ask me anything, I said, my voice low but steady. Her arms wrapped around her waist like she was holding herself together. She didn't say a word, but the trembling in her hands wasn't from cold. No. This was deeper. Fear, confusion, grief. I wanted to go to her, close the space, pull her in, tell her none of this was going to break us. But I stayed where I was. The last thing I wanted was for her to flinch. When she finally spoke, her voice was barely more than a whisper.
Will you hurt me?
The way she asked it gutted me. I frowned in confusion. Was this some type of trick question? She knew I would never touch her without consent. No, I said without hesitation. I took a slow step toward her, careful. I've never harmed a woman, never touched or hurt a child, ever. Her chin trembled as she shakes her head.
I'm not talking about physical.
I hold her gaze. Fear keeps her from surrendering all of herself. I've done dirt, I won't lie about that. But there are lines I've never crossed. Her eyes stay locked on mine.
Damon said, this isn't a coincidence. That you're doing this to get back at him because of some deal he messed you over on, that you've been lying.
A bitter sound slipped from my throat before I could stop it. It is a coincidence, I said, pacing away because if I stayed still, I might explode. I haven't talked to my brother in years. There's millions of people living in this city. We never bumped into each other. We don't move in the same circles. I don't have IG, Facebook, TikTok, none of that. When I met you, I didn't know your name, didn't know who you were connected to. I knew your father had multiple women, including my mother, but I didn't know his daughter was you. I explained to her. Her eyes narrowed like something clicked.
At what point did you know?
I paused. Damon told me that day at the school. Rick just recently confirmed it.
So you knew since then? And you said nothing? You cared enough to tell me Damon was your brother, but you didn't care enough to tell me about my father as soon as Damon told you the connection?
I shake my head. Jada, baby. She squinted at me. I never called her anything but Jada or Jay, and now baby just slipped out like I was grasping for something to hold on to, something to keep her from walking away. She has been the center of my orbit, my baby, for a while now, but I've never been the type to use terms of endearment.
You've been lying.
She simply states, no, I have not. Omission and lying are two different things. Her eyes go wild. It was like my simple sentence triggered her. It was like I blindly stepped on a landmine.
Omission and lying are two separate things.
She attempts to mock my tone.
Motherfucker, I asked you to tell me the truth when I came to you about the Suburban. Don't try to manipulate me. This is me asking you again, what was Damon into?
Something in her tone triggered me as well. It was as if she was trying to throw me in the same box as Damon. I didn't like that shit. Damon been fucking hoes all over the projects, but you knew that, right? He's been gambling, snorting, tricking, and drinking all his money away while he had you paying all the fucking bills. He been fucking this man, and he robbed that same man. The man he robbed is in this powerful family, powerful enough that they can hurt Damon and whoever else they want without anyone knowing it was them that ordered it. My theory is Damon is making his DL man happy, and as long as he's happy, his family is oblivious to all this shit. Damon is slobby, but I am thankful that it appears you aren't attached to him in any way. I'm pretty thankful he hid your existence like he hides his other hoes. Her head jerks back as if I pushed her. She looked as if she was going to be sick. Sick about which part, I don't know. I know she knew about the women, so it had to be the fact that Damon was fucking a man or that he put their lives in danger by crossing a son of a powerful family, maybe both. I knew I was being harsh, but she didn't want to be handled with kitty gloves anymore, so I gave her my uncensored words. She didn't move, didn't speak, just stood there, looking right through me, and then she said it.
You're only infatuated with me because of your childhood trauma. You have a savior complex.
My jaw locked so tight I heard something click in my ear. Heat rushed through me so fast my vision blurred for a second. Shut the fuck up, I said, and my voice wasn't loud, but it was sharp enough to cut the air between us in half. Her chin lifted a fraction.
Did I hit a nerve?
You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. My tone came out colder than I meant, but I didn't take it back.
I know enough to see patterns. Some men like you have savior complexes. They grow seeing shit they wasn't supposed to see or without a certain kind of love. They find it anywhere they can. They mistake it for something else. It's not like you love me. You're just...
So you're a fucking expert on patterns now? Did you catch all these patterns with Damon? Then you say growing up without a certain kind of love. I had my mother in my life. I was loved by a parent, so what the fuck are you talking about? I paused before I went too far. Just shut up, Jay. This time it came out like a warning. She crosses her arms across her chest.
Like I said, you have this need to save me. You need to save me like you saved your mama.
There's fine bitches in the projects that need saving. They need their rent paid, childcare paid, car note paid. Fine bitches all over the university campus that would love their tuition paid. They all need saving, right? Why don't I want any of them? I snap at her. You too smart to be spewing stupid shit off the top of your head. You need to think before you speak to me. Her stare sears right through me. Need to save you? I don't need you, Jada. The words came out sharper than I meant. I saw it hit her. Her head jerked back like I just put hands on her. The look cut deeper than I expected. Regret hit me fast, hard. I wanted to snatch the words out the air, but it was too late. They were already sitting between us, heavy as guilt. She was mentally shoving me into a wall, hurting me the way she'd been hurt. I could stand it, but fuck. It was like she was waterboarding me, stealing my breath, and I'd take it, all of it, just to show her I loved her, but I needed her to recognize the damage she was inflicting. She didn't back down.
Who's Tanya?
If my blood could have frozen, it would have been ice right there. I fucking hate Damon in this very moment. I should have went with my first decision on having him killed. Instead of killing him, I told Rick to inform him I wanted him tortured. Why the fuck did he bring up Tanya? Don't do this right now, I tell her.
Don't do what?
Her arms folded, eyes drilling into me.
Ask you a question you don't want to answer?
She isn't an issue. We're not talking about her.
Why not?
Because I said we're not. My voice finally jumped, and I hated that she pulled it out of me.
So I can open my life up to you, but some bitches off limits?
Don't be fucking disrespectful. I don't ever disrespect you. She gave me a humorless laugh.
Wow. Finally hit a nerve with you, I see.
Jay.
So first it was a security detail, then it's this mystery woman, and now it's my father. If these aren't red flags, I don't know what are.
Her words hit me harder than a fist to the ribs. Red flags. That's what she saw now? Me. I clenched my jaw, forcing the anger down before it made me say something I couldn't take back. You think I'm trying to hurt you? I asked, my voice low, shaking with restraint. After everything I've done to keep you safe. She didn't answer. Red flags? I repeat myself. Red flags? Did I omit some things? Sure, I did. But it was to protect you, to protect your daughter, to protect my niece. As for Freddie, you can be hurt all you want, but that nigga deserved it. He violated my mother with kids in the house. Violated Jada. No one should hear a woman being violated. You want to blame me for your mommy and daddy issues, but your parents made a choice. Freddie made a choice, and he suffered the consequences. My parents made their choice. My father died from his bad choices. I made mine. If your father made better choices, he would be here right now. Fuck him. She continues to stare at me. Her silence screamed louder than anything she could have said. You've been through hell in a short amount of time, I said, softer now. Your vision is blurry. I get it. You don't know who to trust. I swallowed hard. I care for you enough to let you heal. Go to Guyana. Relax. Breathe for a while. I took one more step forward but kept my distance. I love you, Jada, I snapped, the words tearing out of me before I could stop them. I love you and that little girl. She froze mid-sentence, her mouth still open from whatever she was about to throw back at me. The fire in her eyes flickered, but she didn't look away. I didn't say it before because I didn't think you were ready to hear it from me. You keep acting like you're some type of temporary fix for me, like I'm just here until I've decided you've worn out your welcome. That's not what this is to me. Her breath caught, no comeback, no sarcastic jab, just silence. Her eyes shimmered glassy and wet, but the tears didn't fall, and for a second, Everything between us held still, heavy, on edge. Like we were standing on the line between falling apart and finally getting honest. After Guyana come home to me, or don't, I'll be here, Jada. No matter what you choose, I will be here. That's not going to change. She nodded slowly. Then, without a word, she turned and walked down the hall into Ari's bedroom. The door closed behind her, and I stayed there staring at the space she just filled, feeling the weight of her absence in every inch of the room.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for departure. We'll be taking off shortly.
The sun here doesn't just kiss your skin. It presses itself into you like a memory you didn't ask for but can't shake. It clings. It lingers. It reminds you you're still alive. I was barefoot on the back porch of my cousin's home in Guyana, my legs curled under me, the hem of my shorts brushing against the old wooden boards. An ice glass of lemongrass tea rested against my thigh. The scent of curry drifted lazily through the open kitchen window, layered with smoke from a neighbor's fire and the overripe sweetness of fallen guava fruit buzzing with flies. The yard was alive with color and noise. Kids, mine included, ran wild, their laughter breaking the air like birdsong. Somewhere off to the left, chickens were squawking, probably being chased again, and in the far distance, a dog barked lazily at nothing. Ari was in the grass, barefoot and free, her mango-stained dress clinging to her like joy. Her hair had come undone hours ago, little curls stuck to the back of her neck, her hands sticky with juice. But she looked happy, really happy, and because of that, I didn't care that she was a mess. Didn't care about anything but the light in her eyes. My cousin Nia sat beside me in a cracked green plastic chair, fanning herself with a folded newspaper and watching the kids with the kind of stillness that only comes from being rooted. Not just in land, but in self. I don't know what to do, I said quietly. She didn't waver, just looked over at me like she'd been waiting for me to get there.
About which part?
Ari and I flew in 2 days ago, and on our very first night here, I got drunk with my cousins and aunts, and I spilled my guts to them. I told them everything, well, almost everything, how Damon been treating me the last couple of years, how I met Malik, how I come to move in with him, how he treated us and made sure that we never went without. They didn't see the problem. And then I explained to them he was Damon's brother and he had a dangerous past. The only thing I left out was Malik murdering my father. One aunt was apprehensive and stated I need to pray, heal, and be alone for a while. The other two sided with my two cousins and voiced that it appeared he loved me. I went to bed thinking about what they all voiced. While we were all a little different, we all agreed on one thing. Men show up in various facets and provide for the ones they love. I went to bed still hurt by Malik withholding things from me, but I woke up with a little more clarity. I came to terms that he did love me, even though I accused him of the opposite. About all of it, I finally answered Nia. The mess I came from, the mess I made. I hate Damon for everything he's done to me, for what he took from me. The bruises, the lies, the fear I still carry even now, halfway across the world. Nia nodded slowly but said nothing. And Malik, my throat tightened. I love him. It felt too simple to say. Too small, because this thing between Malik and me, it was complicated and layered. It was both safety and danger, comfort and risk. He told me he didn't need me, and it felt like he cut me with glass in that very moment. I felt I pushed him to it. I know he didn't need me in literal terms, but it still hurt because some days I felt I needed him in my presence to breathe easier. Then he turned around and told me he loved me. He may not needed me, but his actions showed love. It was the quiet way he held me without speaking some nights. The violent history that hovered just behind his gaze. The way he made me feel like I could breathe and suffocate all at once. He loves us, I said, almost in a whisper. Me and Ari. He shows up, you know? He doesn't run from things. He stays. He listens. He holds space. He protects. But Nia asked gently, nudging me. I exhaled. He's done things. Been through things. His past isn't clean. And I'm trying to decide if the man he is now is enough to balance out the man he used to be.
None of us is clean.
Nia said, folding her fan into her lap.
The real question is, do you trust him with your future more than you fear his past?
She continued.
I really can't give you the best advice because you won't say exactly what he did wrong besides keep a murder from you. But this is what I'm confused about, Jada. You had no problem that he killed people in his past.
I frowned, parting my lips to respond, but Nia spoke before I could.
It appears it only became a problem when it triggered you personally, and you need to ask yourself, what about this particular incident triggered you? Was it a woman or child?
I paused and then blurted out, he killed Freddie like my daddy Freddie. Freddie used to hurt his mom. Nia's eyes widened, but she remained silent. I didn't have to tell her this couldn't be repeated. She knew. This isn't the first secret surrounding a death between us. Nia shot and killed one of her ex-boyfriends when she found out he touched her 12-year-old daughter. Only me and her brother knew. We sat silently for a while before speaking again.
Jada, what he did was before you don't have to answer this, but have you ever tried looking at it from all angles? The storm inside a person before they commit the ultimate act, the one that shatters their own life in the process. Just think about what the person must have been feeling to feel the need to kill for the one they love.
Her words cracked something open in me. That night I couldn't sleep. The crickets outside were loud and the air was too thick, but it wasn't the heat that kept me up. It was Malik. It was the memory of him standing at the airport, watching us walk away. The quiet ride there, Ari in the back seat, Malik's hand steady on the wheel, his jaw tight but not angry. Just quiet. He didn't ask me to stay, but I saw the way he looked at me. I felt it. He wanted me to stay with him, especially after the fight we had, but he didn't say it. Four days in, I sat on the balcony off the guest room with my laptop open, the evening sky painted in pink and gold, as the sun dipped below the trees like it had nowhere else to be. Ari was inside, curled up in front of her tablet, a bowl of cereal balanced on her knees, humming to whatever show she was watching. And me, I sent in a request for FMLA, effective immediately. I attached the doctor's note confirming the emotional strain. I didn't bother adding details. I just clicked send and sat there as the moment settled over me like a new skin. Then I emailed Ari's school counselor, explained she'd be attending virtually for the foreseeable future. Unforeseen family circumstances. That's all I wrote. When I closed the laptop, the quiet hit me like a wave. It was a stillness I hadn't felt in years. Not the kind of silence that comes from absence, but the kind that comes from space, from clarity. Malik told me to go, to breathe, to heal. He didn't guilt me, didn't try to tether me to his side with promises or pressure. He sent us off like someone who understood what it meant to love something enough to set it free. And I hated that, because all I wanted in that moment was to run back into his arms. But I knew deep down I wasn't ready, but I was making room. For the first time in what felt like forever, I wasn't bracing for the next blow. I wasn't shrinking in someone else's shadow. I was here, barefoot on a balcony in the middle of a country that both felt like home and didn't. My daughter was laughing. My heart was sore but still beating. And I was starting to remember who I was beneath the bruises, beneath the grief, beneath the armor. Malik's love was still in me. It pulsed in my bones, whispered in my ears when the wind blew just right. But now I need to start learning to love myself too. And maybe, just maybe, that was the beginning of healing.
Coming up on part 9.
I said things to him that I shouldn't have said.
Gally, are you ready to face your man?
I haven't heard from him, Auntie. I don't think he wants me like that anymore.
Oh my god, he killed her.